Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
What did you feel when you guys were making that run in the last 6 minutes or so?
Well, one thing is that's the way we got to play, Doug. We can't come out and play like we did in the first 3 quarters. You know, here's a team that kicked our butts for the last 11 games, and I was disappointed the way we started the game and ecstatic about how we finished the game. That's the way we have to play. The way P.J. Tucker played that last group in there, Pat Patterson, Fred VanVleet, DeMar DeRozan, that's the way we have to scrap for 48 minutes. I mean, again, there's no excuse for what we did in the first 3 quarters, but somehow, some way, we've got to get the mentality of starting the game that way and finishing the game that way. Win, lose, or draw. We got to compete and have that competitive spirit the first 3. And again, it's you know, it was almost like we were playing in mud the first 3 quarters, and then we get going.
What are the emotions like in like the last 2 minutes of regulation time and then the 5 minutes of overtime? What's it feel like that?
Well, it felt great in the fact that I knew win, lose, or draw. You know, I thought we were scrapping, competing, and that's all you can ask for of your team this time of year is to do that, to play that way. And we found the group that was going to go in there and fight and scrap and give yourself a chance to win. We weren't giving ourselves a chance to win the first 3 quarters, but we gave ourselves a chance to win in the 4th quarter. But again, you can't live that way and be an elite team and play that way regularly.
How much do you think the altercation late in the 3rd quarter affected?
I thought it got us going. I didn't see what I got to go back and watch what happened. I knew a lot of physicality was in there, and I got to see what happened. I haven't watched it yet, but I thought it got us, got us going, and I thought the other group that came in the 4th quarter got us going also. Fred VanVleet and Patrick Patterson and P.J. Tucker. I thought they set a tone the way we were going to play the first 2-3 possessions of the 4th quarter.
Sorry, go Doug.
I don't see a lot of fights in the NBA with.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's too expensive. But again, I don't think Serge Ibaka doesn't have a malicious bone in his body. He's a competitor. So is Lopez. I don't think either one of them would go down as Rocky or anything like that. So, so I don't think anything malicious. He meant anything malicious or anything like that. I didn't even see who threw the first punch, but we'll see what comes out of it.
What prompted McClure to have reaction?
Well, and that was another one. I thought he was just making peace. I mean, their coaches were grabbing our players. They were trying to break. And I thought he was out there, and he and Mirotic, had words or whatever. But the coaches were out there as peacemakers, and I do know that. And their coaches were grabbing our guys because I was making sure everybody was, making sure that their players were back and separated, nobody's getting hurt.
How do you balance that out on the bench, balance between everyone kind of being fired up and making sure no one gets hurt, like Serge was shaking his wrist and, thinking about the future, suspensions and that kind of stuff?
I'm glad somebody got excited, woke up. I mean, I'm jumping up and down on the sideline and trying to get excited without getting thrown out of the game. But, again, we needed something to get us going. You don't want to ever see a fight or anything like that to get you going, but I like the emotions. We need that. We got to get that to start, get ourselves going at the beginning of the game.
It's easy to look at the 42 DeMar scored, and obviously you needed those, but that steal that he had off Rondo.
Well, the block too. He had a huge block that,
Was that just the product of the way you guys were playing?
Well, the 4th quarter. I mean, that's we should have been playing that way the first 3 quarters, and that's what we have been the last couple of games, and but I was really proud the way DeMar, P.J. Tucker, Pat Patterson, Fred VanVleet competed, and Corey Joseph competed. Corey's going in there, flying in there, getting rebounds, and now we got to get everybody else in that frame of mind, that spirit, to start the game.
DeMar's been one of the few that's been around for all 11 of those losses. Did you and Hanky have any? Did you talk about this before?
Well, the funny thing about it, something was on TSN on the station. Showing the game the last time we won, I think 2012 or whatever it was, when Thibodeau was coaching or whatever, and they had Dang and a different team. And so we said, hey, that's the last time we won, and that was about it. But everybody knew. Guys knew, and there's no excuse for it, and we don't want it to happen again. And but again, we have to play the way we played the 4th quarter and overtime. Whoever we play, whether it's Miami, whoever's on the schedule, we've got to compete that way to give ourselves a chance.
We've seen that before. When games get really heated, DeMar, he seems to raise his game. You saw it defensively, the rebounds, and just ignoring the scoring, the fight he can bring when.
Well, again, the temperature's got to start on the jump ball when at 7:30 or 7 o'clock, whenever the game starts, for all of us. And that's the thing that we're preaching. We saw it happen in OKC game. We couldn't get the mojo going again. We got the fight going in Detroit. We got it going against Indiana. This is another great lesson, and we got to learn from it. Again, for whatever reason, and it's not for guys being late, because we have heck of a practice. Guys coming back at night working, and so it's not from the lack of working. Where our practice is probably more spirited than where we started, and that's the thing that's driving our coaching staff crazy.
You got to be pretty pleased though, 9-5 without Kyle. I mean, I'm sure you would have signed off on that.
Where do I sign? I'll take that at any point. And again, we still got some tough games to go. It's not over with yet. We don't know when he comes back. And again, nobody, like Coach Pitino said, nobody's walking through that door. It's us. And so we got to go out and fight and scrap and claw that group in that room. And we can't think about Kyle or, don't have him when he's coming back or anything like that. We got to go to war ourselves.
Coach, the final defensive possession in regulation, you guys had a foul to give. Butler has the ball, and Tucker in the corner. Was there a plan to potentially foul?
Well, we talked about that. What we didn't want to do was get a three-point play. The other situation was when DeMar had the ball, we had a timeout to go, and the decision there was, do you let him go? The play wasn't for him to go take a three-point shot. We wanted him to get downhill and attack the rim and hopefully get a foul. But we wanted to get the last shot, with zeros on the clock. But that wasn't the shot we wanted, and that was the other decision. We had a foul to give in regulation, and I think Tuck, he knew that, but I thought he was wanting to go ahead and play him as much as possible, because Butler is one of the best in the league at baiting you into a shooting foul. You get into him, and all at once he raises up and gets his arm through there like the Harden and DeMar does, and so he didn't want to. And again, I trust his decision in that situation.
Fred seemed to do a really strong job on Rondo. Why was he able to handle the veteran?
It's called youth, and that's one thing that he has on his side, and that's what we got to get all of our young guys coming in with that type of spirit. He was kind of the last young guy on the totem pole that came in with that energy, and I thought that was the advantage he had, was his youthful enthusiasm. Fred VanVleet's a winner. Kid's a competitor, and he used that, and he had some big plays down the stretch. All right, thank you, guys.